Hello and welcome back to Stoked. It's the weekly podcast where me, InTheLittleWood, also known as Martin, sits down with a guest and talks about 5 things that they are particularly excited about, or as we like to say, stoked about. And they can be things that are happening right now, have recently happened, they're coming up, and it covers everything. It can be music, movies, sports, real life things, literally everything. Books, if you even want to. This week, we're joined by a good friend of mine. It's Solidarity Gaming, also known as Jimmy, occasionally known as Timmy as well.
I knew you were going to pop in with that.
I had to. After last night, I have to put out all the different name variations.
That was good. That was good. And talking, that can be my first thing.
Is that on your list?
That is literally on my list.
Okay, perfect.
It wasn't first, but we can roll into it straight away.
Yeah. Segue.
But it's something that I've been stoked about. Basically, I play for a football team. Team, and last night we had a final of like a competition that we're in. It's not the league, but it's a competition inside of it. If that, and football fans will know what I'm talking about.
We should point out as well that this isn't a 5-a-side. This is a proper 10 players each team.
Yeah. 11, Martin.
Oh, was it 11? Sorry.
You're missing the goalkeeper there.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's why I kept missing him. It's because he wasn't in the same colour as you guys, so I just assumed he wasn't part of the team.
Yeah. That's not nice. That's not right there. But it was a 11-side game. We had a final, and Martin came along. Nettie came along. Some of you might know her. And it was hard. It was tough. It was a tough pitch. So basically, for this pitch, it was concrete before, and then with this new 3G, 4G stuff, they roll it on, and it's fake grass basically, and it's supposed to be better and whatnot. But because it's concrete underneath, your calves and your hamstrings and whatnot do not like it. So
it's like running in like a school hall, like you know, when you used to PE in like a play hall. There's no bounce and no give in the ground at all. And obviously, like, you wear studs on your football trainers because football, by the way, we're talking soccer, not American football. Yeah. Should point that out.
Yeah.
But it did look like the ground didn't give way to anything. And there were numerous times people on both teams had to sort of lay on their backs and have like their hamstrings like sort of stretched out a bit.
Yeah,
it seemed to hit everyone hard.
Yeah, like you watch some people later on in the game, it looks like everyone's like running it through thick mud. It literally looks like that. But yeah, we played. I scored the first goal about 15 minutes in. It was a good goal. With my left foot. Everyone was cheering. We had some chants going on my name. It was a bit of a weird experience because it's never really happened to me.
Well, this is where the segue from the start of the podcast comes in, because we've obviously got you, we've got Jimmy, and then there's another Jimmy on the team, and then in goal there's a Tim, I think. Yeah. But then where we normally call you Tim, like me and Nettie were just getting really confused. We were like, do we call him Timmy or do we call him Jimmy? Do we have to say Jimmy like B, or like do we have to like give a surname letter, or do they like, because some people there were just calling you by your surname, so I was like, I don't know what to say. There's like 5 things I could call you now. It was confusing.
That is good. But with the game, it was 1-1 because we conceded a penalty. They scored the penalty. 1-1 went.
But that was off a handball. It was devastating.
Yeah, it was, and it happens all the time. It was so gutting. So it went to 1-1, and then no one scored for the whole game. It goes to extra time, which I'm thinking over to you guys. I'm like, you're gonna be here late. I'm so sorry about this. It was pretty cold. It was pretty cold as well. So it was a long game, but we scored 2 goals in the second half of the extra time, and we won, which is even better because last year we did the same competition, did the same final, and we lost in the last minute of the game. So it was more, everyone was way more pumped and way more like, yes! So I'm still stoked today about it because it happened literally last night as we're recording this.
You got like a cool medal and like you got a massive like not a trophy but like a plaque.
It was like a shield,
shield that's it,
plaque, and we're all like, yes! It was good. It was.
That took me back to like my high school days, like where you get the plaque, and the plaque has lots of like tiny, smaller shields all over it that are like, you know, from each of the years and stuff. Yeah. So the other team, by the way, were super salty.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna be like if you lose, isn't it? But even in like tackles and like decisions and whatnot, they were a team that were like, ref, come on up here, please.
Well, it was really funny because there was a guy on the opposing team who was number 15, and instantly, as soon as we saw him, we and just the way he sort of carried himself and sort of even the way he spoke to his own teammates, me and Nettie were like, we don't like that guy. and then lo and behold, like in the latter, I want to say like the latter quarter of the game, so in like the final half of the second half, he had a little run-in with one of your guys, and he was very grumpy about it afterwards. Like, I think they basically locked ankles or locked feet around the ball, so it was almost like all the sort of kinetic energy just stopped, and he sort of fell over and the other guy didn't and went off with the ball. But then every time they were near each other after that, there was a lot of shoving and like even like curse words being thrown around and referee having to step in and stuff. And there were all these little things that were happening that some people didn't realise. Like, there was one brilliant bit where your guy, number 6, had the ball and number 15 was stood in front of him, a good like 5-6 foot away from him. And he basically waited for your guy to make a move, and your guy noticed it, and he just basically stood there and didn't do anything for about 10 seconds. the guy on the other team was like, what are you doing? And the moment that he like stepped forwards even slightly, he passed it away. And the other guy made it very verbally clear that he wasn't impressed by that. It was so funny. It
was good. It was a great game. It was a really good game. I loved it.
It was really good. I've never seen more headers in a football match.
There was a lot of headers, wasn't there?
That ball was in the air a lot of the time. I think the most like consistent like headers like before it hit the ground, I think it was 5 in the end. We started like taking count.
But what's
so funny?
What did you think? What did you think of my performance? What did you?
I thought you were good, dude. Like, you've got some pace on you.
Thanks. I like that's kind of my role in the team. Like, when I say like to people like I was tempted just to tell you guys before the game. I was like, if I don't get the ball, don't think I'm bad. I'm literally the Jack Russell of the team. I chase people down. Like, even if I don't touch the ball, I'm doing my job, basically. So it's hard. It's hard if you don't know the football like knowledge and whatnot, and like don't know like the team plans. If you get what I mean, like it's hard to get across. Like, are they doing a good job? Aren't they? Like, you know what I mean?
I assumed you were doing a good job. I mean, you put that goal away pretty quickly, and I noticed that it was a common trend that whenever they were taking a corner kick, your team, you'd be at the furthest point away from it. But more often than not, you'd gauge it coming in, like when it drops, and you would like just belt in from the sideline and just like tuck it away for a goal. It
was good. It was a good night, wasn't it? It was
it was really good
night. I got another thing that I'm stoked about.
Okay, let's move on to number 2.
We got, but I'm taking it back to the game then, right? I'm gonna bring the game in quote.
For us indoor folk,
I don't know if you'll be stoked about this. You might be.
Okay.
You played them recently on stream, but July. I'm pretty sure it's July. Crash Bandicoot Remastered is coming out.
Yes.
The Insane Trilogy or something like that.
Yeah, the Insane Trilogy. I think it's to go with the N Cortex kind of like branding.
Dude, I am stoked about this because I've played from the first one, and I've played all the way up, and like all the like, you know, the branch off games like the tag racing, which I know you did the other week on the stream and whatnot, and the Crash Bash, and like oh my gosh, so many games. But I just can't wait for it to come to a new console and not just die just as a series, just like come back, if you get what I mean.
I'm hoping that they'll use this as like a start point. Like, let's see if people are still interested in Crash. Yes, they are. Let's start on like a new title. Yeah. And hopefully they're not going to try and go for like an open world kind of vibe. I just want them to stick with the corridor running version of Crash that we all seem to like. Yeah, and like just move into new levels, and then doing those things, like having, even in like the first couple of Crashes, like there'd be like separate boss levels where it'd just be a boss. It wouldn't even be like a running away from something or getting crates or whatnot. It'd literally just be a boss level, which is good. Like, but I know that this thing coming out is just a remaster, and graphics up. They keep it's the same games, but the graphics are just redone. I think it's the 3. I think it's the 3 games put into one. I think it's just the first 3. I'm really good that it's not Crash Team Racing as well. What I would give to have Crash Team Racing done in HD. That's a game. I say this all the time. It's my favourite racing game ever. Like, I like it more than Mario Kart. Yeah, definitely. I think it's so good. Wasn't it like the original? Wasn't it like a? I don't know how to word it. Wasn't it like an original thing? Did Mario Kart come after it? Oh, no. Mario Kart was out long before it. Mario Kart was coming out on like the SNES and the NES and stuff like that. PlayStation was a generation later. Yeah, I don't know what it brought, but it was something different. It was something like... I think for me, it was the drifting. The drifting was quite interesting. I quite like that. And also the maps as well. I just thought the maps were quite good. Like, I just genuinely really enjoyed it. And some of the items were quite interesting. I liked as well that you have the blue shell in Mario, which just blows up the person who's in first place.
That blue shell.
The equivalent in this one was kind of like it was almost like a warp ball thing.
Oh,
and it like flies around, and everybody on the way to first place gets a little bit of a thwack off of it.
Oh, nice.
So it's not just first place that suffers; it's aiming for them, but it gets whoever else on the way through as well.
Yeah. Oh, it was such a good game. But I'm gonna get that as soon as it comes out, because I recently got something like quite similar, because like I think it was like 6 months ago maybe, they did the exact same with Ratchet and Clank. So they remastered the first game, and then they bring it out on PS4. So they're literally just doing the exact same as they've done that. But I
think I played that actually on my channel. I played it with Kath actually, because I think they took the first game and I think they added in a couple of elements from the movie as well, because there was a movie that came out around the same time.
Yeah.
So I think it was like a hybrid of the two, which just made it like a really cool playthrough.
Yeah, it was a good game. Like I played it through, and the graphics were awesome. I still didn't watch the film. I think it came out
I've not.
certain places. I don't know if it came out spread across cinemas and whatnot. But oh yeah, the game was awesome, and that's why I'm like looking forward to the remastered Crash Bandicoot as well, because they can do some cool stuff with that.
Speaking of like PlayStation remasters, I think they announced it like a couple days ago. I saw a little trailer for it. Did you ever play Jak and Daxter?
Yes, I did. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, those were they were the PS2 games. They were. Yeah.
The classic
ones.
Because for me, I obviously never had like an N64 or anything. So, you know, all the things like Banjo-Kazooie and Mario 64 and stuff, I missed out on like the collect 'em all kind of game.
Dude, I was completely
Whereas this was ours.
The PS1 was my very first like console. Like this is like the console that I started on, and I just went through PlayStation. I wasn't really like, we had like a GameCube and stuff, but like the PlayStations were like the main console for
ditto.
Me and my brothers and whatnot. But Jak and Daxter, man, the first one as well. Oh my gosh, it was good. It was so good. And they just literally told us, didn't they? When is it coming out? Do you know? Did they do a release date? Or?
Let me have a little look. If I go onto like the news page, I was actually just looking at the scores on Metacritic and stuff like that. And like the first one did significantly better than all of the rest. I don't think I've ever actually played Jak 2 or like, you know, Jak and Daxter 3 or anything.
I think I remember playing 2, because it was like the number 2 was when the Dark Jak was introduced. Do you remember seeing that or not? Like
I don't think so.
There was like when you I can't relate it to stuff, but when you like you get to like a max bar or something, and you press a button, then he turns into Dark Jak because he's. I don't know. It was a pretty cool concept and whatnot, and it got a little bit better. And then they bring out the Jak and Daxter Racing. They bring out a Jak and Daxter Racing game.
Is that any good?
I don't know. I can't remember playing it loads, but I know that they bring it out.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think they might be just remastering the 2 or the 3 main games.
So they're remastering Jak and Daxter, they're remastering Jak 2, Jak 3, and then also Jak X, which I'm assuming is the racing game?
Maybe. I guess so. But
Jak
I'm looking forward to that. Oh, that game was so good. I just remember collecting those eggs and whatnot.
They're weird, aren't they, though, the eggs? They were like almost like, you know, like in Harry Potter when they get the clue for the mermaid trial. And they have that one egg that screams whenever you open it.
Yes!
The egg kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, okay. So Jak X is combat racing. I just had a quick look at it.
That's it. That was it. Yeah. And the cars and the driving on that was super good. Like I was really impressed by that.
It looks very gritty graphics wise compared to the other games.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Was there a release date or not? Was there a release date?
No, I had a look at the trailer. It just sort of listed all 4 of them off and just said 2017. So
yeah,
I reckon it won't be as late as the holiday season. I reckon it'll be out either just before or just after E3 is my guess.
But I hope they like. It's hard because like the remastering is great and it's good, but it's games that we've played. If you go, I mean, like I hope that they just carry on. If they make a new game, like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I
want them to continue the franchises on.
Yeah, they can't just keep remastering stuff. Even though it's fun, it's great, and it's good to get some nostalgia going, but
And it's good to share that with like a younger audience, because you always tell them about it, and for a lot of like the younger generation, it seems to be graphics seem to be like their barrier. Like, if the graphics look old, then they're not interested. They instantly assume it's rubbish. But if it's remastered, they're suddenly like, whoa, this is great.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Wow.
Damn. Jak and Daxter remastered.
And Crash Bandicoot, which was our original point.
Man, I need to start a petition for that.
Yeah,
I really need to. There's so many games that I want HD remakes of, although the main two that I want is Crash Team Racing, and I also want Jet Set Radio Future done in HD. Or I just want a new Jet Set Radio. Like, there's this game called Hover, which is actually one of my 5 things this week. But basically, the guy who made all the music for Jet Set Radio Future, a guy called Hideki Naganuma, he's actually just released 2 tracks that are going to be on the Hover soundtrack. And obviously that game's in a similar vein, so it's kind of like, I was excited about that little wave of new music from that guy specifically.
Nice.
But if you've not seen that, that's now on early access on Steam, and it's not bad. It's alright. I can see how it's paying homage to it, but it's got its own twist to things.
Yeah, I might have to check that out for sure.
It's good. It's really good.
Wow.
Alright, what's your number 3 this week?
My number 3, we're going serious now. We're going serious. We're going down the serious lane. So get your seatbelts on because we're going on a ride. Okay. Here we go. So basically, I'm pretty stoked about a little risky move that I'm taking. Basically, in the summer. Well, it's still in my mind. It's still ticking over, and you know, it's a risky move. But I'm basically, my job is that I'm a primary school sports coach in a lot of schools around my area and whatnot. And I've been doing that for coming up to 4 years. But in the summer, so the academic year will finish in July, and I'm thinking about just stepping back from it, pursuing my YouTube more, and pursuing, you know, streaming more, and just you know, just focusing on that a bit. And if it does mean taking a step back in terms of like money and just other things like that, then I'm okay with that. I think I want to take a risk, like, but I'm excited about it. But at the same time, I'm obviously a little bit scared and a little bit nervous and how it's going to work out. But yeah, it's one of those things I'm stoked about because I'll have way more time to make videos and stream and actually meet up with people. Like at the moment, I'm having to organize like so much time and like be so much in advance. Like I'll meet you in a month. Like like, and that's so frustrating. But like, I'm excited to have all that time to actually put effort into videos and not just rush it and be like, that's good enough, when I know that that's it.
It's good enough for the time constraint you're given, but if you've got more time, you can just make everything better.
Yeah.
It is. I think a lot of creators go through that transitional period where they're juggling everything. Like I did it as well. I was juggling full-time radio presenting, YouTube, working Argos at the weekends, and also studying as well. And it got to the point where I had to sort of let 1 or 2 slide, and then eventually I just went, no, you know what? Let's cut everything out. Let's just do YouTube. And it's, for some people, they won't do that until they're very comfortable and they know they can definitely do it full time. But if you've got the flexibility, like if you still live at home or if you've just got a little bit of money backed up, stuff like that, just having a good go at it is really good. And the thing is, you don't have to shut the door on what you're currently doing, as in like you can step away from it for now, but you know, as long as you end it with good terms on them, I'm sure they'd welcome you back with open arms. Like if you ever decided the YouTube thing wasn't viable full time. Which is good. That's such an exciting time for you.
It is. I think I'm more nervous about it, but I've got people around me that, you know, always, like you guys,
we believe in you,
that always perk me up and tell me that, you know, just go for it. But it's always in my mind that it's always right to listen to the right people and not get so many opinions that my mind just clouds over, if you get what I mean. Because I feel like that can happen, and it has been happening lately. That I get so many opinions that my mind's just a bit like, like
it's because it riddles you with like possibility and sort of like insecurity with it all as well.
Yeah.
I think you're in a really good spot for it. Like, this is me just talking like half, you know, to everyone watching as well as like you just personally, but I genuinely think, like, I think this will work for you. I personally believe that you've got the talent. I think you've got just the enthusiasm, you've got the right circle of people around you, like all the makings are there for it to be, you know, a success and to become a full-time thing. And I did see a few people tweeting recently, people like Aurelian actually tweeted, like, Twitch community manager, saying that she's seeing too many people at the minute aspiring to be YouTubers before they even try and have another career path. So the fact you've already established yourself in one field is great, because obviously if this doesn't work, then you've got that to fall back on. And I did the same as well. I never wanted to be full-time YouTube, even though I was making enough to do it for a good 2 or 3 years. I wanted to finish my degree first, and at least I have that like safety net. Is the best way to kind of describe it. And I think you've got all the pieces in place where, regardless of which way it goes, like you're sound as a pound, like you're going to be good.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Just
motivational speaking, right there.
Just thought I'd put that out there. There's a lot of people who always ask, and you hear kids nowadays like their aspiration as a career is to be a YouTuber, and it's not as easy to get into as you think it is. You can do all the right things, but if you're not put in the right places in front of the right audiences, it's just not going to happen. It is literally like, I would say 80% talent and 20% luck. It really is like
I agree.
one fifth luck, if not more, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's a crazy one.
It is a crazy world. It's a crazy world of YouTube.
So if you haven't yet, everyone, if you're listening to this podcast and you're not subscribed to Jimmy, go do it right now. Solidarity Gaming on YouTube. Go find him.
Thanks. I hope
that's got to be a thing.
Enjoy what's on there.
You've got some good stuff. Some of your like episode openings are really, really good. I did one myself the other day where I was like a week and a bit late to uploading on an Overwatch game mode.
Yeah.
So I opened the episode with like the sound of like a pier and then like the massive foghorn of like a ferry like taking off. and I sort of run into the camera frame and I'm like, oh, I missed the boat. Oh, I hate when I miss the boat. And I was like, this game's been out for a week. I've missed the boat on this as well. It's just
I'm definitely
little bits like
that.
Just little bits and pieces like that make it special. And you're the type of person who will put in those extra little touches. It's not just when you that's the thing. Like you've got to make sure that you've got selling points in your videos. It's not just trim the edges, 10 minutes recording, boom, done. You've got to add like those little bits of flair and personality and stuff.
Yeah, because that's what makes it. Like, you know, like someone could click on your video, watch the first literally minute, and if they don't like it, they'll go. So you want to have those little sparks that go, oh, like let's just keep watching for a little bit, you know?
That's it, because it makes them wonder where are more little sparks like that going to be throughout the rest of the content.
Yeah, and that leads on to, you know, wanting to have more time to do that and stuff, because obviously I have put out things, so maybe you, like years ago and whatnot, you might have put out things where you're just like, it's an upload, so that's okay, but it's not. I've
had that a lot in the past like 7 or 8 months where I've just been going on so many trips. Like I've been away to America or Ireland or like Germany and stuff, and I've been going for like 7 to 10 days at a time, and it's just like it's so hard to get ahead and keep quality consistent. Which is why this year I'm sort of taking a step away from doing as many conventions. I kind of want to, like you said, just have that time available to make things good.
Yeah. Cool!
Sweet. That's exciting.
Should we go on to the next Stoked?
Yes. Is that number 3 or 4?
This is going to be number 4.
Number 4. Okay.
This is going back to gaming.
Okay.
I didn't know if you played this game. I'm pretty sure you... I don't know. It was a hit. It got so many awards. Probably the best game of 2000 and... Oh, when did it come out? I don't know.
Yeah.
2015? Do you know what I'm going to say? But you might... Let me... Wait. I'm going to let you have a guess, right? I'll give you some clues.
Give me some clues.
All right. Apocalypse.
The Last of Us? Was that it?
First one, but I'm stoked. Yes. I'm stoked about the second one coming out. I'm
very excited.
Pretty sure it might be the end of this year, or it might be the start of next year.
I reckon it will be the end of this year. I think at E3 we're going to see a little bit more of it, and I reckon we're going to get a holiday release date.
Did you?
I think.
I'm guessing you played it. I'm guessing you've done it all.
The first one, I've done all of it except for I'm at like the very tail end of the game.
Dude, you need to get that. You need to.
I know.
That.
I need to finish that last bit. I'm literally on like the last season, I guess. Like I think I'm at the final winter of the the storytelling.
That is near the end. Yeah. Dude, what a game! What a game! It was one of those games, right, where I've only had a couple of times like this. It's one of those games where you play it and you play it like for the whole day, or not even the whole day, just like you play a solid session of it, you go to sleep, and you're literally in bed thinking about when's the next time, like, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna get straight back on it. You know, like it was one of those games. I haven't had it with one of those games in a long time, which was cool. And they bring out that trade. I don't know where they bring it out. They might have done it at like a Sony press conference or something like that. Yeah,
I think it was one of the Sony Experience presentations or something, like earlier this year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It might have even been late last year. One or the other.
I don't know. Maybe it was I honestly don't know. But like the trailer came out and I watched like the audience reaction trailer. I love those trailers. and like it's just panning across a forest, and then they see a sign which has what's the main people in it? I can't remember.
Ellie and Joel.
No, like the main gang. Like they're the main characters, like the main gang. They're called something. No idea.
I can't remember the name of it.
But it has like a sign with them on it, and as soon as everyone sees it, like the crowd's like, yeah, they're like screaming because like, dude, that game was good, and it gets you in the feels every time those games. Naughty Dog, what a company.
Just think as well, they were the guys that started Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I need to.
There you go. It's weird to think that they've gone from that to that. Like they've obviously, I'm sure it's them that make
They make Uncharted as well.
Yeah, that's it, Uncharted, yeah.
Dude, and that's, one of the best PlayStation series of all time at the moment.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Every game they make goes platinum. So it's a bit surreal. Like, they take their time on games and they deliver,
Speaking of Uncharted, I can't remember if it's at the very beginning of the game or if it's at the very end of the game. I want to say it's at the start. But in Uncharted 4, you actually play through the first level of Crash Bandicoot 1.
Yes, it is so good.
It's such like a little homage.
It's so good. Like I think I've never played a game that has tried to do that. Like it was the first game that has actually tried to implement that, and it actually working. Like
because it was also insane. Part of like the storytelling mechanic as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's like Nathan the Drake is just literally chilling in his room. And they're just like, it's just like one of those, they're sitting down as a family, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, I bet you can't beat my high score. And then you play the game. She's like, what do you even play? And he's like, I'm playing Crash. Like, and then you like turn, and then you just get, and then they like pass over the controller on the screen. And then it like zooms into the TV and then you play it. And it's like, oh my gosh.
I think there's like different outcomes as well. Like, I think if you can actually beat the high score, then there's an extra scene that you get to see.
Oh, it's so good.
I don't think I actually got it. I think I ended up falling down the same pit like three times in a row, and that was it.
I'm pretty sure I lost as well. But dude, The Last of Us 2, it's gonna be a quality game. It is. There's gonna be so much polish in that. It's gonna be ridiculous. I don't know what direction it's gonna go. Like I don't know what the story's gonna be at all or anything like that. Because it does end the first game on a cliffhanger. So like is it
going to pick up immediately where it left off, or do you think they're going to do like a little time skip, a time jump?
I think they'll do a time jump, but
I think they will, like especially with the DLC that they released for it as well. That gives me the vibe that there's definitely going to be some kind of time skip. And even the trailer as well, Ellie looks quite a bit older in number 2.
Yeah, she does. I remember. Oh yeah, because they go into the house, don't they? And yeah, they do all that. Oh yes. Last of Us 2.
See, that's the audible like vocal tone of stoked, like that right there.
Yeah. Just put that right at the start. Oh yes.
That's it. And then just drop the jingle in there. So good.
But yeah, should we move on to my last stoked?
Yeah, your fifth and final stoked.
This is kind of like a generic one, but basically this year I'm just excited to do go on more little adventures and more little trips. And I know you're talking about not going to conventions and stuff, but doing like more close-knitted stuff with friends and whatnot.
Yeah, agreed.
So, for example, like we're planning, me and you, we're planning with a couple of people to go to Fort Park. Like soon.
We were.
And like I've never been to like one of the major like Alton Towers, Fort Park. I've never been to
really?
any of that.
What?
No, never been to all of those.
You never went? Was there never an opportunity with like a school trip, or friends never suggested it before, or what?
Never been at
wow.
all. But
I've never been to Thorpe Park. That's kind of like how it all spawned. Is like I said it, and I think it was Nettie was like, "How have you never been to Thorpe Park?" She's like, and then she basically took me through the checklist, and I was like, "Yeah, I've been to that one. I've been to that one."
Yeah. Well, it's different for me, man. I've never been to like any of them, so
oh my gosh,
I'm super stoked. See, I got in there. I'm stoked about that.
I don't even know what the rides are like at Thorpe Park. I'm gonna have a little look now.
I'm a bit scared. Like I'm a bit. I think, frightened.
As far as I'm aware, I think Thorpe Park's got like a lot more of the water rides. Oh my god, dude! Thorpe Park's got the virtual reality Darren Brown thing on it.
No way.
It's called Darren Brown's Ghost Train, Rise of the Demon, and I'm fairly certain that is virtual reality, because I remember reading about it a little while back.
Wait, so it's a ghost train?
And yeah, so I think you have a headset on the whole time, and then like loads of stuff happens on the physical ride itself.
Oh gosh.
Oh my...
What?
Oh.
What happened?
Why would they do that on their website? I just loaded up the Thought Park. Timmy, I'm going to send you the link.
Oh, gosh. Oh,
Just
gosh.
Load up that webpage, and out of nowhere, like 10, 15 seconds into being on their website, something happens.
Wait, is it going to scare me?
It will. It scared the life out of me just then. Just literally just stay on the homepage,
Right,
have a little browse up and down.
All right.
Why would you do that?
No, don't. It's going to scare me, isn't it?
If you want to see it, thoughtpark.com. It's spelled THORPE.
Yeah, now open. Do I scroll or is it just going to come up?
I don't know.
I haven't got my sound on, by the way. I haven't got. Oh, do I? I don't know. Is it going to be loud?
It was quite loud in my headset.
Alright, I'm going to take off one ear.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wait, just submit. Close that. What's going on?
Do you not see like a little thing in the bottom right corner of your window?
Experience the demon in 7, 6.
Right, see, I didn't see that to start with.
4.
Here
3.
it comes.
Do I need to take off my headset? 2.
No, you're fine.
1. Oh my sweet Jesus!
Right? That's like a full screen jump scare kind of thing.
That will give you a... Imagine an old man on that!
Imagine a little kid on that. Kid's like, oh, I'm going to Fort Park with my family soon.
Look at this!
Oh my... Scare the life out of them.
You need to put that when you get on the Stoked, the podcast, you need to edit that in. Oh my gosh. Dude, I wonder what your reaction was like then. I knew it was coming.
It made me jump. It's ridiculous. So there you go. That's the thing that's at Thought Park. I'm just trying to have a little look at the other rides now. Here we go, rides. Oh, so I'm sure some of them I'm going to recognise the name of. Oh, they've got the Saw ride, as in like, I want to play a little game.
Yeah. They've got I think a ride, like a roller coaster, and then they've got like a maze that you can walk through. Which
they've got Nemesis. They've got Stealth as well, which is kind of like, I guess like Rita Queen of Speed, where it goes from 0 to 80, and apparently under 2 seconds.
That is the number one ride at Thought Park, apparently. Like the one that you have to go on, because it's like a roller coaster that like literally takes you right up and then just drops like at a vertical drop, and it just oh my god. Oh my. Jeez.
Yeah, see, the further I scroll down the page here, it looks like there are more and more like wet rides.
That's good.
Seems to be that. To be that a lot of them involve water. So we'll have to make sure that we all go on like a day when it's like nice and sunny.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that though.
Do you ever find it awkward when you use those? I don't know if you. Oh no, because I guess you've never been to a theme park. But there are these weird like. Imagine like the TARDIS, like a big blocky machine thing.
Yeah.
And you can put some money in it, and it basically like becomes like a massive oven, like a human oven for a couple minutes.
What? And you just dry off?
And you just stand in it and you dry off, yeah. But the problem is you often, with how expensive it is, because I'm sure it's like a silly cost for what it does, but you'll always find that you'll have like 7 people bundled into this thing, which is only really meant to stand like 3 people or something like that.
That is weird.
And often strangers will just jump in even if they've not put money in it. And it's like, oh, go away. Like,
I'm trying.
I don't want to be that close to strangers when I'm damp. It's like,
oh, that is weird.
No thanks.
I will dry off naturally. I'm not using one of those.
Yeah. Take a towel. Change a shirt.
Just be the towel guy. Just be the towel guy. But yeah, just overall with that, just more excited to do little things with friends and whatnot, go on little trips, have a lot of fun.
Because I think what we did last year, because obviously we all travel so much for work and stuff to all these conventions, we often try to like pencil out a couple of days before or after to have like our time, like just as a group.
Yeah.
Because often, like when you go to conventions, as much as people make it seem like in vlogs when they put them up on YouTube, like they spend the entire time hanging out with their friends and this, that, and the other, you actually don't. Like,
no, you don't. You don't.
You're always stood within about 10 or 15 feet of each other, but you're constantly talking to like you guys, like audience and viewers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're not actually spending any time with the people that you know on a personal level, which it can be a bit sad sometimes.
Yeah. And even if like. So, for example, in the event, if you're split into groups and whatnot, like the whole day, you won't see each other. The whole day, you won't see each other. You won't even talk to each other. The only time you'll literally talk to each other is in the evening when the event's finished. And then, even that, everyone's knackered and they want to go to bed. Like,
so everyone wants food, maybe a couple drinks, and then sleep.
Sleep, and then the repeat the next day, and then you go home in the evening. Like, it's not as fun, friendly field, like with your friends, as it is work. But that's why, like Martin said, you try to organise a couple of days before to chill with your friends, and that's always nice though. That's always super nice before you go off and you work your butt off.
Yeah,
But yeah.
it's all good.
Is there?
So those are your 5 things, aren't they? That's all your stoked bits and bobs.
My 5 things.
So, I mean, like, I usually rattle through 5 of my things as well, and some of these I think you're going to be pretty excited about as well. I think one of them you actually tweeted me about today, of all times. So the first one that I saw was the Minecraft Glide minigame that me and you filmed together.
Yes.
It's getting 3 brand new maps, which is exciting.
Yes!
So the guys from 4J Studios and Mojang, who obviously make Minecraft, they basically did a live stream the other day where they showed off 3 brand new maps, which is pretty cool.
I can't
So they've got one which is called... Oh, I forgot the names of them now.
I think one's called Yeti, I think.
Yeah, there's one called Yeti because there's a giant Yeti like in the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
I think there's another one which is called Dragons or Dragon, where you fly through almost like a sort of eastern like town, I guess. Or like sort of shrine area, and then I can't remember for the life of me what the last one's called, but it's kind of like a pirate themed one.
Oh yeah.
Which has got like giant octopus like
that looks cool. That one.
Like tendrils and stuff hanging out.
Yeah.
So those I'm actually really excited about. I think they're going to be really cool.
They'll be really cool.
Although on the first map, have you seen the clip of the hole in the first map?
I saw it yesterday. Oh my gosh.
It's ridiculous, right? So if anybody's played the game, basically you go through you go from the very start of the map, and as long as you don't lose too much like, you know, height as you're going through, there's actually on top of one of the hills that you're not really meant to try and aim for, there is a 1-block hole that goes all the way down and takes you to one of the deeper reaches of the course as a whole. So you chop out like an entire 1 minute and 20 of your time.
It is ridiculous, and it's just a straight hole. It's just a straight hole right the way down. Like,
yeah.
It is.
And I wonder if that was made by one of the map creators so they could be #1 on the leaderboard, or if it was an Easter egg. The fact they're patching it out makes me think that it's an oversight, maybe.
I just don't know how people find it. How do you randomly go, hey, just gonna fly into these trees and kill myself? Oh wait,
it's the internet. The internet finds everything. Like there's never a thing they don't find.
It was so strange when I saw it as well. This is strange. And how did we not think of that?
Well, apparently what they're doing as well is, because obviously there's a ton of people that know about this hole and there's a ton of people that don't, there's a huge disparity between the scores on the leaderboard. Like, you'll just see a very distinct jump from, like, times of, like, 1 minute 20, and suddenly you've got times of, like, 30 seconds at the top.
Wow.
So they're apparently, when they release the 3 new maps, they're also going to wipe the leaderboard as well. Because I think they're patching the hole out when the new maps come out as well.
That's a good idea,
which is
to be fair, isn't it?
I think so. I think it levels the playing field.
Yeah.
You know now, though, that every map from now on, they're going to be, like, fine-combing it, making sure that there's no, like, little sneaky tunnels or anything.
That'd be good. I'm excited to play them. I'm really excited to play them as well.
Yeah, we're going to have to go head-to-head again.
We do. And for them as well, to get maps out really quickly, because, you know, one map was good, but they needed more. They needed more to keep the game relevant.
Yeah, I think they released the first one just to see if the mode was something that people were interested in.
Yeah. It seems to be working. Like, it seems to be very popular. So,
I'm wondering if they're going to bring it to the Windows version. Maybe not so much the regular Windows version, but maybe Windows 10 and I guess in a way Pocket Edition as well.
Yeah. That'd be cool to see.
That'd be interesting to see.
Actually. Yeah.
That'd be difficult to control on Pocket Edition. Can I try to use the touchscreen thumbsticks?
Oh gosh, yeah.
That'd be ridiculous. Oh my god. So number 2 on my things this week is something that I actually received into the office today, and it is this thing right here in front of my face. It is the Elgato Stream Deck.
That's my small clap. I want one of those so bad. They look so good.
So if people don't know what it is, if you've ever seen the Razer keyboard, I think it's called like the Def Adder, I want to say. I might be wrong on that. But basically, that keyboard had like a little touchpad on the right-hand side, and then it had like 8 buttons across the top, which you could use as hotkeys for literally anything as well.
Yeah.
And essentially, Elgato have noticed that people want a little box like this. Look, so you can see it's got how many buttons? 15. It's got 15 buttons across the front, and you can basically set them so they can change scenes on your live stream setup, or you can play a sound effect or a visual effect, or you can play a video or put a picture up or hide your webcam, mute your mic. Literally anything you can think of, you should be able to do with this.
It is so cool. It's so handy as well. It's like why did no one ever think of this before? Like,
yeah,
it's a huge step for them as well, because it is going to be very, very popular.
Yeah, I reckon so as well. Because regular steamers.
Did I say that? Steamers.
So regular steamers.
Regular
For people that
steamers.
want to steam their vegetables, this Elgato Steam Deck is going to be very good. But no, yeah, so they've been really cool and actually sent me one. So you can see I've not even unraveled the USB cable yet, but that is something that I'm very stoked about giving a whirl. And I think it's going to add a lot of production value to a lot of live streams by seemingly just having just a couple little buttons, which is cool.
Yeah, that is cool. It's very cool.
So that to me is pretty sweet. Other than that, like, quick mention for Telltale's Guardians of the Galaxy. I've not played it yet, but that's the franchise that they've just delved into. So obviously they've done The Walking Dead, they've done Minecraft Story Mode, all other kinds of games as well. I think they've done The Wolf Among Us and things like that. They've tackled Guardians of the Galaxy ahead of obviously the new film, so I'm intrigued to find out what it's like. I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah, the only main one I've played is the Walking Dead one.
It was very good, the Walking Dead one.
But even when they bring out this new one, it's the New Frontier or something, I've only played through 2 episodes. But the first Walking Dead and the second one, brilliant. Like, really, really good games. And I've delved into a part of the Batman one.
Oh yeah, of course they've done the Arkham one, haven't they?
One, yeah. But I haven't been hooked on lots of them since the Walking Dead one. But it's exciting.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool. They've got such a cool little, like, a cool style that everyone loves. That anything they bring out, everyone's excited about. So it's
I think for me, it's an odd one. Like, did you ever play Until Dawn?
Until Dawn, yeah, I did, yeah.
Because I feel like Until Dawn feels like the different options that you pick really do have different consequences and different outputs.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like with a lot of the Telltale games, you kind of get from point A to C regardless of what B is.
Yeah,
it feels like you're almost always on the same path and you're only making the most minuscule differences and changes. That's the one thing I've always had with Telltale games. I don't think they're as multi-choice and as vast as I think they want them to be. But people don't seem to be complaining. I'm one of the few people that seem to voice that opinion, so obviously, you know, they can just crack on as always, but that's my vibe towards them. They're good, but I'd like a little bit more choice.
Yeah, I think a lot of the choices and whatnot add to the end, because at the end of each episode you get those bars, don't you, of this person picked, this amount of people picked this thing, and this amount
the
of people picked
percentages.
this thing. I think it just kind of like only a couple of decisions get rated in there, not like every single one. So I think it's only like a couple of decisions where it's like, all right, this is going to happen if this happens, and this is going to, you know, like, but it's only like a couple there. But I agree.
For me, it feels like, because I'm sure in Until Dawn, there's always 1 or 2 characters that will get into the final scene, but I'm sure in Until Dawn there was a way of being able to save everybody. Like, there was a way of having all people get to the end.
Yeah, which is crazy. That is I wish that game was longer. I thought it was an alright length. Really?
I think if it was longer, I think it might have felt like too long of like a haul. I feel like it felt like an evening, like in terms of like real time. You felt like you really were playing along, and you know, sunrise was on its way soon, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that was such a good game.
Wasn't it? Yeah, it was a really good game. Really good concept, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was new. They sort of done a teen drama, but they did it well. And there was some genuinely good jump scares in that game.
Yeah, there were, yeah.
Like the one with the telescope and a couple others that I don't want to spoil too much for people.
Yeah.
But they weren't jump scares for the sake of being loud. They were genuinely like, they have you in a very relaxed and calm state, and then bang, hits you like a lightning bolt.
Yeah, it was good.
Crazy.
It was really good.
So that's that one. I've only really got 2 left, so they're both sort of video game related. One of them is just very passive. There was a brand new trailer for The Escapist 2, which was showing off one of the new maps. So that for me is pretty exciting. It's a map called Rattlesnake Springs. Doesn't really show off too much. It shows off a couple more of the characters that will be NPCs in the game. That was quite cool. And then I got an email a couple days ago asking if I wanted to go to the Microsoft press conference at E3, and it was specifically for the thing that they announced last week, which was Project Scorpio. Which is going to be the most powerful console ever, according to them. And some of the wording sounds like it's a joke, but it's genuinely not. So like, it's apparently going to be able to do true 4K gaming. It's got 2.3 gigahertz of CPU, it's got a terabyte of storage, 12 gigabytes of RAM, and that's DDR5, which is obviously as recent as it gets. It does HDR, it's got memory bandwidth of 326 gigabytes, which I have no idea what that means. But then the one thing that catches me off guard is it says it's got 6 teraflops of GPU.
Teraflops?
Teraflops. That sounds like something you'd hear in like a Red Dwarf episode or in like
Got 6
Hitchhiker's
teraflops.
Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, it does.
It sounds really weird.
What? Well, you've got to go for that reason alone. What's the teraflops?
Right, exactly.
Tell me.
So apparently a teraflop is a measure of a computer's speed and can be expressed as a trillion floating point operations per second. So so is that then 6 trillion points of operations per second? Like I've no idea.
I have no idea either. But you know now, so you don't have to go. Things. I'm joking. You should go. You should go. You should do it.
That's the thing. In recent years, when I've had the opportunity to go to E3, I've never taken companies up on it.
Yeah.
Yet when I started this job, I always desperately wanted to go to E3, and I think it's because having gone to so many conventions and hearing about what E3 is like on the show floor, I'm not sure I'd enjoy it.
Oh, really?
It sounds like it would just be a little bit too... It strikes me as the kind of place where you get shoved out the way if you don't have the biggest camera and biggest lighting setup. Yeah. Because I've seen that happen at small capture events, like, you know, Microsoft when the Xbox One was first launching. I got invited to an event in London, and it did sort of seem like if you weren't from a TV network or a YouTube channel where you have a separate guy who's got a shoulder-mounted camera, they almost, like, don't seem as bothered about what's going on with you.
That's a bit
And it's like... Yeah, it's one of those things. I think I'm put off E3. And as well, I like being at home and almost like watching it on Twitch with other people, or doing like a Twitter commentary of it, like I would for things like Eurovision and, you know, Britain's Got Talent finals and stuff like that. I feel like I can cover it better that way. Like if I go to this event and film around the show floor and everything, by the time I get home, everybody's already seen it and it's already old news.
Yeah, fair. I agree with that.
I kind of want to be there in the moment to chat about it.
Yeah. I agree with that.
But yeah, so there you go. So I guess like Project Scorpio / E3 2017 is something that I'm optimistic about. I think it's going to be interesting. And I think that is where we're going to leave it for this week. Thank you very much for watching on Viewster. If you do, thank you very much if you do that. Basically, these episodes go up on Viewster 2 weeks before they go up on my YouTube channel. And simultaneoused with the Viewster upload, which is obviously the visual version, the audio-only version goes straight out on iTunes and also on Stoked.com. So 5TOKED.com. You can download the MP3 version from Podbean. So if you're Android, iTunes, I got you covered. It's all good. Before we head off, Timmy, what are your socials?
My socials?
Your socials?
My Instagram is Solidarity Gaming. My Twitter is @SolidarityCoUK, so COUK. And we don't want to hear about that Facebook stuff, but my YouTube
no one uses that anymore.
My YouTube is Solidarity Gaming as well.
Ooh, good stuff. So please go and check out Timmy's stuff. Thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode. And as always, tweet me @InTheLittleWood on Twitter. You can tag me on Instagram InTheLittleWood, or you can check out my channel InTheLittleWood on YouTube. Let me know who you'd like to see on the podcast next, and I'll see you all next week for that. Bye!